everyone. We're coming to you from the Ontario Physical Literacy Summit, and I'm excited to be sitting next to John Herdman, the coach of the Canadian women's soccer team. He delivered the keynote address here this morning and really did fire everybody up. What an honor to meet you.
An honor to meet you as well.
So now I heard this morning that you really did fire everybody up with your keynote address, and certainly Canada was fired up at the transformation that happened with our Canadian women's soccer team. How did you transform that team?
I think the secret is they transformed themselves, and I think therein lies the answer. You know, you as a leader, you have to realize that you don't really transform people, they do transform themselves, and if you can ask the right questions, if you can light a fire in them where they really want to take responsibility for something and accept that at the end of the day it's going to be them that do it or they don't. And I think when you talk about transforming a team, it's about knowing the framework, the questions you might ask, and at the right time in the right place to be able to get people to rise to levels they haven't been before.
That is so true, and I certainly know as a former athlete and as a therapist, you're absolutely right. It starts in here. How do you, as a leader, inspire that passion though? What are some of those questions that you ask to really have people pay attention and want to do it for themselves?
Well, I think you've got to just be aware of that, what you've said, the gut, you know, the heart, there is something in here. And if you're always at the brain level and talking about strategies, goals, tactics, this is where we're going to go, this is what we're going to do, you don't really ignite that fire. And I keep saying to leaders and coaches, they have to spend more time touching the heart than taking the hand. And we spend too much time at this cognitive level and not at the heart level, which really gets people out of bed to do the extra things that normal people won't do. So I think my job is to keep asking those hard questions. And I'm not saying hard questions, they're just hard questions because the questions I've had to think about to know that if it comes out my mouth, will it have an impact on these people? Because whatever comes out of my mouth, I can't take it back. So I have to think very carefully. So that's my challenge out to any coach and professional in the industry that works with people. You know, really think about what you say and how it will ignite a fire rather than get people to just do things because they feel they have to.
And that resonates with me, talking about, taking people out of the cognitive and bringing it into the heart, taking them from the hand and going into the heart. A lot of this is about giving opportunity to play and to have fun, isn't it?
It is.
And of course there's a lot of strategy that goes in, but I can feel the passion coming from you.
Yeah.
And even as a coach, coaches at home, teachers, parents, they can do it too, can't they?
Yeah, look, you raised the great point there, which is you have to come back to that why question. So why do kids play sport? Like the simple reasons, top of their list isn't because they want to look good for their mom and dad. It's not they want to win a championship. They want to be with their friends. They want to be in an environment that's stimulating, motivating and fun. Competition's part of that. But learning new things and just feeling part of something, the social aspect. So I think the most important thing for parents, coaches, teachers is to keep coming back to the why question. Why the hell are we here?
Yes.
Like, kids don't come to school to learn. They come to school to be part of something. To connect, have an experience, not to learn, not to fulfill a test requirement.
Right.
And it's the same in coaching. They don't come to win a game at a weekend. They come just to feel good.
Such great points, and of course we also know in research that when we do this with children, when we encourage them to have physical literacy and to play, it ultimately does affect their test scores, so everybody wins, because mentally and physically they go hand in hand, and by firing them up and giving them the opportunity to answer their why, they're going to have a better, happier life as a result.
Well, look, I think when people understand the neuroscience behind physical activity, having physical exercise is like putting miracle growth on the brain. And we forget that. So we want outcomes in the classroom, but we're not prepared to actually fuel the brain in a way that it's primed to actually deliver. And you know what kids are like. They don't want to sit in a classroom. Look, our bodies and brains were designed to be in a moving environment, making decisions on the run. So I'm not saying we have to do maths on the run, but I was a primary school teacher and we used to play some crazy games in the classroom to keep the kids active. So I think it's just an acceptance that get people from sitting down to standing, get people from standing to walking, get people from walking to running more often. And if your kids are sitting down, then we're breeding them to be sedentary. And we're breeding them to an early grave.
You betcha. You know what? And I think that is such a powerful statement to end on. You are an inspiration. You certainly have fired up this entire conference. It's been a pleasure to meet you, and I have to tell you, bravo with the Canadian women's soccer team.
Yeah.
You made Canada proud, and we've got a lot to look forward to.
Got to do it again, though.
We do.
That's the next challenge.
You betcha. We've got more coming their way from WOW TV at the Physical Literacy Summit.